All right, race fans, we are back. Evidently, episode 273 this week. I said 271 2 weeks in a row, but I kind of like 271A, so I'm kind of stuck on it. Just is what it is. I know Lauren pointed that out. So, all right, Lauren, we got it right this time. But how you guys doing? As always, Ryan Aho in the house and my former right-hand man, track champion over at the Proctor Speedway in the Pier Stock a few years back. We got Changa in the house. How's Changa today?
Tired.
Tired. You're getting old. You're not
Mm-hmm.
Bert. Changa don't have quite as much energy as you had a couple weeks ago. I'm just saying, a little bit more energy a couple weeks ago. And we got former editor in chief of the Full Throttle magazine and uh, pit crew extraordinaire for the late MJ McBride. We got Bert Lehman with us. Bert, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. A little tired, but I spent the last 2 days in Eau Claire for a work conference, and I just got back like an hour ago.
Oh boy, oh boy, you guys are tired. I'm kind of jacked up. We got a big weekend. So for those of you that if you know, you know, right? Up in the Northland, I mean, this is kind of the start of it all. It's invitational season. Of course, we are watching. I know Bert's not watching. He don't like Western Wisconsin. He only likes Eastern Wisconsin. But me and Changa are watching the Twin Ports Twin 25. Shout out Jonathan and Troy Powers for all they do for that event. Heat number 2 on the track right now. Jake Red Jetski out front in 27. But of course, this weekend I'm jacked up for it. I don't know what I'm going to go to. I might go to the Silver tomorrow. I might go to one day of Labor Day, kind of feeling it out, but Labor Day weekend is here, right? Labor Day weekend is here. Excited about that. But before we get into it, quick shout out here, Impact Health Sharing. So if you are in the market for health insurance, whether you're single, a couple, a family, small business, you have employees, whatever it may be, if you pay for health insurance for yourself or for somebody else, you feel like you're paying too much, maybe you can only go to select doctors, maybe one that you don't want to go to because they're not in network, right? I have a solution for you. It's called Impact Health Sharing. Been sweeping the country. It's a great program. You're looking right around for families, right around $600 a month, $2,500 combined household family deductible, not individual. So it's been a great deal for a lot of people. You can go to any doctor, any provider you want. Hit me up, 218-969-1380. I can get you a quick, no obligation quote. I can get you the information you need to see if this is something that can help you put money back in your pocket. So again, that's Impact Health Sharing. My number 218-969-1380. Text, call, Facebook message, however you want to get a hold of me, see if we can help you out. So let's start with this. Okay, so we'll start with some official news that came down today from WISSOTA. Okay, we're gonna transition into some news that maybe should have came down. We'll get there. Okay. We'll get there. I know you're all waiting. We'll get there. But some official news that came down, and you don't see this often. Indefinite suspension for a driver from the WISSOTA Promoters Association. Now, I got to be honest. I I don't know. I'm sure there is. There probably is a couple, that I don't know of. But I can't think of a driver that has an indefinite suspension from WISSOTA. Changa, can you? Yeah, Bert, have you heard of anything? Anybody in? So Carter Matthews, driver from Minnesota. Now, keep in mind, a couple years back, he actually got suspended while racing a WISSOTA Hornet. He was the national point leader at the time. Bert, we covered this a couple years back, and a couple tracks felt like he had been rough driving, and they said, "Hey, enough's enough. You do it again, we're gonna boot you." He did, and they gave him a 1 year suspension, stripped his national title. I mean, it was a bad deal. So finally, he gets back in. Had to have meetings. Gets back into WISSOTA and out in a B-Mod this year, and he makes his way down to the Granite City Motor Park this weekend, and on-track incident looked like it wasn't his doing. He got caught up in something in the first lap, and needless to say, his front bumper got hooked, and they tried like heck to try to get those cars separated. 10, 15 minutes trying to pull them apart, and they decided, hey, the only way we got to get the show on the road, we're going to cut your front bumper off. Well, Bert, there's a rule in WISSOTA racing. I don't like the rule. It's a rule. Nonetheless, I don't like it. But if you don't have a bumper, you can't race. Now, those front bumpers on a modified, you sneeze on them or look at them funny, they bend. They're made out of muffler tubing. I mean, there's nothing. I mean, Changa, remember back in the day, you could lift the whole car up with an air jack? You can't do that anymore. That's not a thing. They're just light. They're useless. But he ends up getting, they said, hey, you got to go in the pits, no front bumper. Apparently, my sources tell me he lost his mind, had an absolute episode in the pits, speeding through the pits, allegedly almost ran some people over. An official came down, actually an official's sister, I think the promoter's sister came down and tried talking some sense into him, and apparently he went completely off the deep end, and that promoter said, look, we can't have this. You putting people in danger, speeding through the pits, almost running people over, flipping out in the pit area on a gal that really had nothing to do with it, and indefinite suspension. That's a tough deal. So um I got nothing on this, right? I mean, it's news, but I mean, if you're on probation, you think you'd maybe be a little smarter. What do you guys think?
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, coming, considering that he was just suspended and coming right back, I mean, I wasn't there. I don't know exactly what happened, but if he lost his cool, like you're saying he did, um, coming off a suspension, I mean, it's not called for at any time, but especially coming off a suspension.
Well, and let's face it. I mean, Changa, you were there. You were in Proctor. I mean, you've seen cars get hit in the pit area. Remember when the 316 ride ran into, or remember when it was Eddie Wakefield's pit guy, and he wasn't even in a fit of rage. It wasn't a mad deal. Bert, he was in a modified pit guy driving a car back to the pit area, back to his pit stall, throttle stuck or something, and he ended up smashing right into a parked car. Could have hurt people. Now, you do that kind of stuff in a fit of rage. I mean, there's kids running around the pits, and some people are like, "Oh, kids don't belong in the pits." I don't know if I agree with that. Right? There's a lot of reasons kids maybe have to be in the pits, but I guess I mean if that's the way it went down, that's a tough deal. It looks like he's going to have to go IMCA racing moving forward. Well, let's jump into this. Everybody's waiting for this. Let's go to the elephant in the room. Bert, did you see the incident at the I-94 Speedway last week in the late model feature?
Yeah, I did see the video.
So altercation between track promoter or track owner Don Shaw and Travis Robertson in the late model, where contacts made front straightaway between the 42 and Robertson. Robertson gets upside down, getting into one. Sounds like car's junk. Halo bent down. I mean, so I don't know what he's going to do with that. Sounds like he had to strip everything off the car, put it on an old car to go racing the next night. Um, Looking at the results from that, okay. Now, when I looked at that, it looked to me like it was Don Shaw's fault. I'm just saying, okay. Now, in the results, they actually had Don Shaw placed ahead of Travis Robertson at the finish. That's interesting enough. Yeah, that's interesting, right? Now, sources tell me, I talked to the driver. I talked to Travis Robertson. I actually talked to Don Shaw briefly too, via text message. And according to the Robertson camp, Don Shaw admitted to doing this deal on purpose. Thought he got ran into by Robertson early in the race. Turns out maybe it was a different guy. Retaliated, got into the right rear. Looks like he hooked him, snapped him over. Shaw says different. He's like, well, we got together. My tire got jerked out of my wheel, and the nose piece was well, fucking brake pedal works. I don't know. I'm just saying, right? I don't know. I'm just assuming he knows where that one. So one in the middle, right? You got your gas. The middle one's the brake, and then the left one is the clutch. Usually, if you apply pressure to the middle one, that'll stop you from pushing on that car and making it go over. Okay, just a little tutorial. Maybe people don't know. I'm not sure, but not only did they not do anything to him, right? He gets scored ahead of Robertson, which is interesting. Now, we're looking back over the past couple months of stuff, right? You got Bob Gardner tips a car over on a yellow, right? Driving the wrong way around the track. He gets a 6-month suspension, I think, from all World Racing Group stuff, I believe. Cade Dillard flat out garbages Garrett Alberson, admits it in a post race deal, and he gets 6 months from Lucas. Should Don Shaw be penalized? Should he get similar to what those guys got for what appeared to me? I mean, it's just my opinion. Appeared to me, and he intentionally rolled that guy over. Should there be more penalty to Don Shaw for that?
Yeah, I mean, the difference between this incident and the other two that you mentioned is the other two. I mean, it was clear as day that it was on purpose. This one, I mean, I think I agree with you that it looked like he dumped him on purpose, but this one has just a little bit of, well, maybe you could make a case that it wasn't on purpose, but yes, I think there should be some sort of suspension. And I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, this isn't Shaw's first incident of doing things similar to this.
He has been suspended as from an altercation at his own racetrack in the past. Somebody else affiliated there sent it in right to Wissota. He threw his, I believe, steering wheel at Dave Moss and got out of the car and got a 30-day rip for that one. We got some big races coming up. A couple weeks away, 9,200 to win the John Seitz Memorial. That's a very important race to him. That's his kind of family to him. 10,000 to win the week after Wissota 100, 15,000 to win the Red Clay Classic a little over a month away. There are races you don't want to miss, right? You don't want to miss them races. So yeah, it's not his first incident. He's a little fiery. Let's just put it that way. He's got a little bit of an
Well,
attitude to him.
and the thing, and we've talked about this on the show. It seems like the tougher penalties come in the lower divisions, the late model division. I mean, when was the last time a driver was suspended in the late model division for anything? I mean, it seems like the, late model modified, that they let more things go than they do. I don't know if they want to do the making of examples in the in the grassroots divisions and let the other ones go because those are the supposed crowd drawers.
There could be something to that. Well, I got a couple thoughts. We're gonna let Changa maybe kind of weigh in on this. What do you think, Changa?
Well, go back to what Bert was saying, and you were saying that, yeah, there was some other situations where some guys did get some big suspensions, and there's another difference between them and this one is, well, the one anyways is the one was under yellow. I mean, that, under yellow is a different animal than during a race, an on-track altercation during green flag racing, of course. But, I guess my question, and I don't know this, did is Don Shaw a police officer, or was he ever a police officer? Because
Not that I know of. I don't believe
because
so.
that was like a textbook pit maneuver that he pulled on that play. I mean, that was perfect. I mean, that had to have been practiced somewhere, because I mean, that was executed to perfection. Boy, I mean, he would have graduated right out of that portion of the police academy.
Is that like a scoop and score? Right, football season coming up. That's like a scoop and score. I think. I don't know. Somebody told me that I think it says Side Dumper on his car. I think he's sponsored by Side Dumper. I'm not positive. Maybe that's a tactic. Maybe that was like a training deal. I'm not really sure if that's a business or a training mechanism. Maybe that's the move. That's the finishing move, right? The Side Dumper from Don Shaw. Kind of like Stone Cold's got the stunner.
I guess my opinion is I mean, you'd think at the very least he'd have got disqualified for the race and maybe at least put on probation or something. But not even a DQ, not even a slap on the hand. I mean, I realize you can't bite the hand that feeds you when he runs the track that has our most prestigious race at it. So
yeah, well, I'm just gonna call bullshit, right? Because literally, you guys can be politically correct here, right? And I don't know that I'm gonna, right? I mean, literally, Stevie Wonder shot me over a text, and he's like, "Holy shit, that was on purpose." Wheels cranked to the left, And at no point did he lift off the gas pedal. I mean, even if the wheel got jerked to the left because of the nose hooked or whatever, right? He never lifted. He never lifted, drove all the way down into one, hooked his right rear, turned the car sideways, and literally did not lift until the car tipped over. It doesn't get more egregious than that, but he owns the racetrack. Okay. People from the Robertson camp reached out to WISSOTA and they're like, you guys gonna do anything here? Right? Like poking with a stick, you gonna do anything? Well, unfortunately, according to the WISSOTA bylaws, according to the way the rules are, WISSOTA cannot step in and levy a penalty against a driver for anything like that unless the track turns that into WISSOTA. Well, that's horseshit because if you own the frickin' racetrack, it's going to take a minor miracle, right, to do that. Furthermore, like you said, the WISSOTA 100's in 2 weeks, right? If you suspend Don Shaw, are they going to come back? Is he going to come back and say, fuck you? You're going to suspend me? Find a new place to do the WISSOTA 100. Could. I don't know that he would, right? I mean, there's a contract, I assume, there, so he probably couldn't do that, but would he play hardball? Guys, understand this, right? Whether we like it or don't like it, right? The world we live in today, if you got money and you got leverage, you got a little power behind you, you can do whatever the hell you want. It's just the way the world works. We don't have to like it. It just is what it is. That's why they pick on the Hornet drivers. The pure stock drivers are like, who's this 17-year-old kid? Who gives a shit what this kid thinks? Too bad, so sad. Go find a new hobby. Not my problem. This guy sponsors a lot of race. Don Shaw does a lot of good for racing. He really does. I mean, he owns. Not many people step up by a racetrack, right? I mean, that's just not happening these days. He owns a track, sponsors, a lot of cars, sponsors a lot of people, has helped a lot of people in racing. He's done a lot of good for racing, but that doesn't give you a permission slip to use your race car as a weapon. It just doesn't. I don't care. It don't matter who it is. You should not be allowed to do that. So WISSOTA promoters, right? And I know several of you that listen to the show, put it on the agenda for the next meeting, for the next year's meeting, that there needs to be some checks and balances to where WISSOTA, when they see something egregious, they can actually make a decision to be like, look, track might not be doing anything, but dang it, we're going to do something. But do they have the backbone to do that? I don't know, right? I don't know if they do, because that's a volatile situation, right? I mean, he's passionate about racing. You suspend him, that could turn some shit sideways quick, fast, and in a hurry, right? I mean, as far as the 100, I mean, a lot of different things. So I don't know. In my opinion, that's as bad as the Garrett Alberson K. Dillard deal. The other one was on yellow, right? Drove the wrong way on the track. Both of these were underneath green flag. The only difference, right, is Cade Dillard in post-race interview, right, specifically said that he did it on purpose. Is Cade Dillard getting suspended for 6 months if he doesn't say that? If he comes out and says,
No,
yeah,
no.
if he comes out and says, look, my throttle hung, or I thought I was going to be able to get off him, and shit got away from me. It's chalked up as a racing deal. He comes on and says, hell no, do it again. What are you talking about? You run into me. I mean, that got him suspended. Allegedly, Don Shaw said that to the Robertson family, but Don Shaw certainly ain't going to be saying that publicly. Like, hell yeah, I got into him. Had he done that, he would have been booted for sure. He did not. So it's a tough deal. Everybody's seen it. There's over 50,000 views. I mean, everybody in the world saw it. The fortunate deal in this deal is nobody got hurt. You flip somebody over the wrong way, that roll cage come
Yeah.
down. Well, I mean, he breaks his neck. There's a lawsuit. He'd lose in that racetrack.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I mean, luckily nobody got injured, but I mean, you can, in the Alberson deal, they destroyed race cars. I mean, you can say there's more money in the the car owners have more money there, but in local racing, these drivers are not multimillionaires. So when another driver destroys your race car, um, that's money out of your pocket, and that's just not good for race. It's not good for anything.
No, and on the post, and I just posted the video, right? Who shared with me? I posted the video, put, hey, watch for the foul language. You you make the call. Apparently, some people think, hey, dipshit, a-hole posting this, blah blah blah. I'm just a big dumb dipshit. What do I know? I've just been around racing my whole life. I'd never seen it before. First time, brand new, rookie to the deal. I will say this though, maybe certain people that think I'm a dipshit, they shouldn't maybe spin out in front of the field in lap one and destroy the national point leader's car. I'm just gonna go ahead and point that out, and I don't know, just maybe, possibly, maybe, not have their deck height an inch and a half high in the other class that they run. So not gonna mention any names, but not really sure who the dipshit is on that one. Just gonna go ahead and say I don't know. You guys can make the call on that, but I guess yeah, everybody's kind of voiced their opinion on that deal. That's a unfortunate situation, guys. When there's no checks and balances in this sport for certain people, you got a problem. I mean, it just, and again, like I said, I mean, that's the world we live in. It doesn't matter if it's racing or business or city politics or whatever. The person with the most money usually can do whatever the hell they want. It just is what it
Well,
is.
and I mean, if those are the rules that Wasota has, I mean, Shaw could do anything he wants every week, drive through the entire field, and his track's not gonna take it to Wasota. You know, Wasota can't step in if he does this every week, week after week,
Or any other promoter, right?
or
Not just
any other
Shaw,
promoter. Correct, correct.
any other promoter, any other potential track owner, right? That's exactly right. I mean, there's other, there's you take my buddy Nolan up at Devil's Lake. I mean, he could jump in a B mod and he could go out and just wreck the field, get out, punch a couple people in the face, do whatever he wants, right? And if they don't turn it into a soda, eh, too bad. I'm the promoter. Didn't get turned in. Not my problem. It is what it is. That's, I mean, that can't be, because if any other driver at that racetrack did anything like that, in an instant, that deal's getting turned in. In an instant. It ain't even a question. So that has to change. With soda promoters, gotta change that. That has to change. That can't stay the way it is right now. That's a procedural error, in this whole system. So
I mean, that's like NASCAR not being able to punish a driver that does something v- very wrong in one of their races. I mean, this is still a Wasota sanctioned race, so Wasota should have the ability to step in if need be.
who runs with soda? Apparently not with soda, right? Apparently not with soda. So, I
The
mean,
guys with the big checkbooks.
the guys with the big checkbooks, and that's just the way it is, and racers are, I mean, it doesn't matter if it's tacking, it doesn't matter if it's calls or unsportsmanlike conduct. It some people can do whatever the hell they want, no consequences. Some people get, I mean, quite honestly though, Bert, Wasota has more important stuff really to be worrying about. I mean, with the Wasota 100 coming up, they got to get them 2-inch like tubes all ready to go so they can check people's wheel openings. I mean, they got to make sure that's in place. They got to have their training to make sure that wheel stickers are proper. I mean, there's a lot more important things they got to do. I mean, that's speaking of the wheel sticker deal. I do have a little bit more on the wheel sticker deal. So remember we talked about that deal happened up in Brainerd where so turns out a local graphics guy, right, literally attempted to duplicate the Wasota and the IMCA wheel stickers. He like made a whole bunch of them with different numbers on them, right? And few people have them that know this guy, right? He took one of those stickers and put it over the top of the existing WISSOTA sticker that was on his wheel. The sticker was just a titch bigger. According to my sources, it wasn't even the same font. They didn't even copy and paste it didn't even look the same. So I was kind of banging on Kenny because he was a tech guy up at Brainerd. Brett Root, that owns IMCA, was in Brainerd. He's the one that caught it. So yeah, the tech guy caught it, but Brett Root was there and he's like, we can't let this happen. So the owner of IMCA is the one who levied that 30 and 1,000. So I like the idea of duplicating those stickers for when one falls off, you just put another one on, but make them look the same at least. Get the frick. What are we doing here? How can you not? They were a little bit bigger, and according to what I heard, the font was just enough different to where if you really looked at it, you're like, wait a second, no, that ain't right. So that's what got the guy caught. It's like, oh boy, unbelievable. So yeah, so a little craziness there up at I-94 with WISSOTA 100 coming up in a couple weeks here. Speaking of a couple races coming up here, I was looking at an IMCA post, right? So WISSOTA 100 last year, guys, had roughly 350 total cars counting the MPH, okay, which is the grassroots classes. IMCA posted a couple days back record set on pre-entries. Any guesses how many pre-entries they have for all their classes?
It's over 1,000. I'll say 14, 16.
It's closer to 1,000. It's 1,067.
Oh.
1,067, 33 US states, 2 Canadian provinces, 3 Australian states represented, 293 stock cars. That's a record. Any guesses how many late models?
33.
46.
19. 19 late models. So clearly IMCA is not a
IMC
late
is
model
not
deal.
the late model show.
But IMCA has always been in a growth deal, right? They've always been in a growth. They're all coast to coast, north to south border, coast to coast, right? I mean, when you look at it, it's like WISSOTA's confined into a tight little corner, and I get it. Some of those WISSOTA people, they're always banging on WISSOTA. Well, WISSOTA, I mean, look at the map. There's only a couple tracks left, right? I mean, other than Minnesota. I mean, when you look at the premier events, 350 cars at the WISSOTA 100 and 1,067, is there really any questions? I don't think so. There's no
Well,
questions.
I mean, there's some people in our group who rip on IMCA
Hey,
and
Man Bundan is coming around. He's coming around. He
but
is. I know what you're talking about.
I mean, WISSOTA's not even in the same league as IMCA, in my opinion.
No, it's really not. And
it's nothing against WISSOTA itself. It's just IMCA is just a bigger deal than what WISSOTA is. It just is.
right. One has been constantly growing, and you look at it, like I said, between the Canadian and Australian, you have 38 different states and provinces represented. It's not even possible to have more than 5 in WISSOTA. I mean, so it just is what it is. But I just thought that was an interesting tidbit there. Speaking of WISSOTA, they actually put a post out looking for a new head tech inspector to start after the first of the year for the 2026 season. Right now, to the best of my knowledge, Todd Good and Tom Wagaman are the interim tech head of tech. I think it's mostly Todd, but I was also told it was those two together that kind of are basically running the show. Neither one of them really want to be in that position. Of course, Bill passed away here this past year, so they had to replace him, but they never really did replace him. I know they were having some financial difficulties kind of going into the season. Maybe that's part of the reason why, but sounds like only a couple candidates right now. But there is a application process for that. So sounds like no real decision is going to be made on that till after the first of the year. I'd like to see them make that decision myself before the annual meetings, so the new person can be there. But I guess we'll see what happens. Couple deaths here. This big deaths in the grand scheme of racing. You guys remember Humpy Wheeler? You know who that? I mean, so former general manager of the Charlotte Motor Speedway that was owned by Bruton Smith, and then he retired. And you remember they had that big clash for like 10 years or whatever. They were, I don't know what it was all about, but they were really fighting. 86 years old, Humpy Wheeler passed, and then one of probably the biggest pioneers in all of racing, all across the landscape, from drag racing to all forms, right? Dirt racing, everything. Forrest Lucas passed away at 83. Now, he'd been battling some health issues now for a couple of years, I believe. Of course, he owned Lucas Oil and Lucas Oil Speedway and all Mav TV and a ton of different stuff. But that guy, I mean, it's worth kind of looking him up and looking at all the different things that Forrest Lucas did in the racing industry. It's truly astonishing how much that guy did. And then you probably don't remember him, Changa, but do you remember the Big Show? You remember Jason Husted up in Hibbing? You probably don't remember him. He was a scaled guy, pitted for several people. He passed away here this past week too, so thoughts and prayers to him as well. A little bit of late model news, Bert.
Yeah, the Rocket Man's back.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Tell everybody what's going on there.
Yeah, Josh Richards. Well, we had talked about this early in the year because he had tested a late model, and it was announced this past week that he's going to be racing at Lernerville with the Lucas Oil Series. So it'll be it'll be interesting to see him back in a car. Is he going to be number one? I
Yes.
didn't. Yeah, number one. Okay. All right. So
Different color number. One's white, one's black, I believe.
okay. So it'll be good to see him back in there. I hope he does well.
Kid Rocket, Josh Richards, Changa. If he goes even moderately okay at Lernerville, is he going to be at the World 100?
Nope.
Did they already announce that?
Kind of, yeah. Everything I've read, they've said he's going to go there, and then I don't know, was it Brownstown was his next event he was going to do or something. But I found it kind of interesting when I was watching something or listening to something today, and they were talking about that he don't even have the new Rocket 2.0 car. He's still in a Rocket 1.2. So, or that chassis was.
Interesting. So Uper actually picked him in our World 100 draft. So
Well,
that's why I was
let's
kind of
be
curious.
honest. Things can change, right? He could go there, get fifth place, have a good time. All right, we're going. Things can change, right?
For sure, for sure. So one other little kind of funny little tidbit here. So a friend of mine actually sent me this on social media. So a racetrack, Michael's Mercer Raceway out in Mercer, Pennsylvania. Apparently the mini stock drivers have been just a shit show, wrecking, drama, fighting, literally every interview, dissing the track. This place sucks, social media and all that. The promoter comes out and he says, to hell with it. You're all suspended. Every one of you, all of you. You're literally suspended. They took him off the schedule for the following week. Essentially gave the class a timeout and says, get your shit together. You can come back the following week. But I can't say that I've ever seen a whole class get a timeout. Have you ever seen that before?
I saw it once.
Did you really?
Yes, I have seen it once. I can't remember the specifics, but I did see it once.
Nice. Well, hey,
that's a real thing. You going on social media bashing the racetrack and then expecting to come there like nothing happened. I mean, that's conduct detrimental to the sport and to the track. It's in my opinion, it's just as bad as any misbehaving at the track.
And I got two views on that, right? If they're trying hard and the track's just not taking shape and you're just bitching about all that stuff, that's not good. Now, if a track goes and just straight out screws somebody over, and you want to voice your opinion on somebody getting screwed, I think that there's a argument to be made that that is probably a little bit more okay, because one of them is, because we've seen some instances where somebody just got absolutely screwed, and not by mistake either, because mistakes happen. I mean, that's just part of it. But I'm talking like the egregious, like, overreach of authority, different things like that. Sometimes I've seen it a lot where drivers have tried to go the political route, and they're like, "Look, I'm gonna I'm gonna try to talk to you. I'm gonna reason with you. I'm gonna do everything I can, right?" But at the end of the day, it's falling on deaf ears. Eventually, you got to get your word out there. So I don't recommend it though. So racers in Wissota country, right? If you, I don't recommend it because it puts a target on your back. That, I promise you, that is a thing. So I've always said this: if you're a racer and you got a major complaint and you're not hearing it and you're afraid to get picked on, let somebody know. Let one of us know. I'll talk about it all day long, right? I'll talk about it because what are they gonna do to me? I don't give a shit, right? I don't race anymore. Racers will get targeted though if they're calling people out. It just is what it is. It just like any sport, right? I mean, if in the NFL, if you have a player out there constantly bitching about the refs, you think the refs are going to give that person a break? Ain't going to happen, right? So the little common sense goes a long ways. And I know we all get hot headed, we get passionate, and all of us, including me, and everybody knows that, like to run our mouth maybe a little bit more than we should, right? So let us do that, right? Don't you do that if you're racing, because you're not in the position to be doing that. So let's jump into a little studs and duds for the past week here. But first, our stud here, Brad Parsons Soil and Egg Solution. So harvest season is here, right? I mean, hopefully everybody's going to make some money this year. That's the goal with farming. Well, if it's not quite like you wanted, right? If you're looking for something better in 2026, some better results, you should give Brad a call, 320-219-3542, to learn about the products that he has that can help you yield better results. Get the right stuff in those spray packages, help yourself get more yields, make more money. That's Brad Parsons Soil and Egg Solution. So let's jump to the national scene, boys. We'll go Changa. Let's go Bert, Changa, and then myself to wrap it up. But who do you got for studs and duds? Bert, let's go with you first.
On the national scene for stud of the week, I'm going to go with RTJ. 2 wins in the Lucas Oil Series. So not much more to say. Um, to me, he's the class of the field in Lucas Oil, and he is definitely RTJ is greater than Huddy, as we joked last year all the time. So um, I'll go with that. And I don't have duds for everyone because I wasn't sure I was going to be on the show this week because of my business schedule. So I will pass it on to Changa.
All right. All right.
So does that mean I get to have two duds?
Sure. Sure.
Sure.
I don't want to steal one of yours. So, my stud of the week, I'm gonna go with the smooth operator. 4 straight World Outlaws wins. Last week he had 2 wins in a second, won 6 of his last 8. Um, Absolutely on a tear, and it's kind of fun. He's on a tear, RT's on a tear, but we've got them couple of rivalries coming up with a little bit of JD and Pierce, and now you got a little bit of Madden and RTJ after last week. So I mean, this is all setting up to be a beautiful World 100 coming up.
It sure is. There's no question, and nothing better than those rivalries. Seems like RTJ Pierce, they're just automatically going to gravitate because they have those personalities that create rivalries all by themselves. Plus, they're always in the front, right? So they're going to race hard. And speaking of the rivalries, I mean, the Lucas Oil points right now, 10 points separating RTJ and JD. They've been kind of swapping the lead back and forth. Unfortunately, it's all for naught, right? Because all they got to do is get in the top 4 to get into the chase. But that's if that was a traditional championship battle, which has been a good one over the last month or so here. What do you got for Dud?
For my dud, and I had a couple of guys on the list, but I'm going to go with Ryan Gustin this week. Since he won that big show at Cedar Lake, we were all at. He's got a 20th, a 12th, a 6th, and then a 16th and an 11th this last week. So he's been on the struggle bus since his biggest win of his career. So I'll go with Gustin this week.
Up and down, and he's kind of that way, right? I mean, he has the speed, but he'll go on a little streak and then he slows down. So I got a few to kind of shout out here before I get to my studs. So Brent Larson, Tricky Tristan Chamberlain had season best finishes with the World of Outlaws. Tricky got a 5th and Brent Larson got a 6th, both at Arrowhead. Them were pretty solid runs. I mean, that's Brent Larson actually had some speed at the USA Nationals, but just outside the top 5. And Tristan Chamberlain, let's face it, he's been kind of almost a little bit of a punching bag, with he caused a lot of carnage early part of the season, and to crack the top 5, hell of a run for him. Tanner Mullins, he's won 3 of his last 5 USMTS races, 18 wins in 2025, including some in a fat tire car. He's got some in a late model as well. He's been red hot in USMTS. Corey Day, 3rd straight Gold Cup at the Silver Dollar Speedway in Chico with the high limits, 3 wins in the past 2 weeks in 410 sprint cars. But I got to give my stud to Brad Sweet. Brad Sweet is my stud. Why? Not for what he's doing on the track. But did you guys see that frickin' bikini contest they had at the Silver Dollar Speedway? That was Bert. You got to go to Facebook, go to Silver Dollar Speedway, go down a few posts, and they had a full deal afterwards, and that place was frickin' packed after the races. Packed, right? My boy K-Dog, he's kind of got the single life going on with the World of Outlaws. He sees that shit, he can be pitting for a high limit guy, okay? Because it was way more cool than anything going on with the World of Outlaws right now. That bikini contest, and it was absolutely epic. They did Facebook Live. Brad Sweet's jumping on. Got to be honest, he kind of reminded me of Pee Wee Herman jumping on the camera there. I'm like, this guy's a little bit creepy. I'm not really sure what's going on here, but they bringing the culture, right? Bringing the culture, the post-race vibe, and all that type stuff. So kind of a cool deal, right? It is what it. I know there's some gals listening and go, "Ah, this is bullshit." It is what it is. I'm telling you right now, there was as many. It wasn't a new deal, right? There was as many gals at this deal as there was guys, and they were all cheering and hooting and hollering and blow horns. It was packed. Bert, it's honestly, if you don't watch the whole thing, you might want to, Bert. Whatever. But jump on there though, and just look at the crowd and look at the energy in that place. It was epic. So shout out to the High Limits. They kind of brought it at that deal.
That was good.
Yeah, I'll give my my dud to Rico though.
Yeah,
He was there front row.
That's why I didn't give 2.
Yeah, he was there front row. He's sitting there. He's like, I think he was one of the judges in this deal. They had a lot of the drivers were judges. It was kind of cool. 6 of his last 7 outside the top 5. Kind of had a hot stretch for a while. He's cooled down. I mean, kind of up and down, but Rico's slumping a little bit right now. So we'll see if he can turn it around. All right, guys, let's jump into the local late model scene. Local late models. Bert, studs, duds, and we'll go for it. I know you got a little news. Tie in a little news. What's going on in Eastern Wisconsin here? Too.
Well, for stud of the week, I have, even though he let one slip away from him at Plymouth Dirt Track, he was leading with 2 laps to go and got passed with 2 laps to go. The stud of the week is Nick Anvelink. He did win the feature at Shawano Speedway, which had 20 late models for the Dirt King show. And that gave Nick Avelink 93 feature wins at Shawano Speedway, which he was tied with Pete Parker for the all-time feature wins at most feature wins at Shawano Speedway. So now he is all by himself atop of that list. I think it's 4 of those feature wins came in an IMCA modified, and then the rest of them were in a late model. So congratulations to Nick Avelink on that. That's quite an achievement considering he doesn't race there every week anymore. And he would have a lot more championships, but he always misses. Well, at first it was just he would miss 1 or 2 weeks, race at Cedar Lake, but now he travels a lot more. Um, oh, and I was going to mention too, I passed this on to you guys. I don't know if you read it, but Joe Vertigan wrote a story about that, and he interviewed Nick, and Nick said that he plans on, I don't know if it's this weekend, plans on racing in some Mars races. So I don't know if he's actually going down the race in some of the Mars races. And he said, uh, 2 tracks on his bucket list that he'd like to race at before he retires is Eldora Speedway and Knoxville. So it would
Also
be
Fairbury as well.
Fairbury yeah, there was 3 of them he mentioned. Fairbury was the other one. So I'd love to see Nick at Fairbury.
For sure. He's had a hell of a career. I mean,
Yes.
there's no question he has been the number one. And there's some good drivers over there, but it just is what it is. Over the last decade or so, Nick Anvelink has been the guy in
Right.
eastern Wisconsin, and he travels well too. He runs over
Yep.
when he comes to western Wisconsin, he's good there too. So tip of the cap right there, Nick Anvelink. He's awesome.
Yeah, and then for Dud of the Week, and this wasn't all his doing. Well, I'm going to go with Brad Miller. He entered the week leading in points at the Dirt Kings points, and when the week ended, he was in, let's see, what was he in? One, two, three, four, fifth place.
Wow.
Um, and, and 22 points back. He was involved in I don't know, it was on lap 2 or 3 at Plymouth. Taylor Scheffler spun in front of the entire field, and Brad Miller got caught up in it. He came back out with his no. He went into the pits. The crew ripped his nose off, so he made 1 lap just so he could get past a few of the cars that were in the accident. So he finished 18th in that race and then 9th at Shawano. So right now, Mike Mullen is leading the Dirt Kings points. He is 12 points ahead of Brett Swedberg. And Swedberg was running, I think, 3rd at Shawano, and Mullen was back a little ways. And then Swedberg got a flat tire, so he had to pit. So things are kind of falling in place for Mullen to win this championship. Mullen's 12 points ahead of Swedberg, 12 points ahead of Joel Bennett, and 14 points ahead of Mitch McGrath.
One night
So
to go too, right? One night at Plymouth. That's
one
it.
race to go. Yep.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, all it takes is one bad thing to happen, but he's sitting in a pretty good spot. That'd be his first championship, right? With the
Right,
Dirt Kings.
and they must throw out a night, because if you remember when Dirt Kings was at Shawano Speedway earlier this year, Mullen left after qualifying. He didn't race in any of the races, so they must have a throwout.
I wonder if they threw out that particular night.
I
I
don't
guess
know.
I guess I'm not sure. It'd be worth looking at here. So Changa, some good cars in the B main here at Superior.
I know it's loaded.
It is. That's Billy Kendall, Peterlin, Skeeter Esty,
Daryl Nelson.
Mimi, Daryl Nelson. I mean, that's a loaded B main, Bert.
How's Door doing?
He got
Uh,
second in his heat.
yeah, he's in. Is that Mike Belfi in the back of this B too? I think.
I see Timmy. I don't know. Yeah, I think he's starting last. Belfi maybe.
Yeah, well, that's he's had a rough year. He's
Yes.
had a rough year. All right, who do you got? Late models.
Well, my local late model stud of the week, I'm going to go with Pat Dorr. He won at Cedar Lake this week. He's won 2 of his last 3. He's got 2 firsts and a third in his last 3, and he's doing kind of what Pat Dorr does, right? Just get hot, come invite time. He'll probably steal one at Superior either tonight or at the Northern Nationals, and then he'll go to Ogilvy and win one of them ones, and maybe even snag another invite along the way, because that's what Pat Dorr does every year.
Double One Express. I don't know if he's going to Hibbing. I didn't see it on there. I know he's in Superior tonight. He'll be in Proctor tomorrow for the silver. Hopefully he makes his way up to Rapids and Hibbing. I think he's the winningest late model driver at the Labor Day shootout. So I'd like to see him have a shot to add to that. It'd be good for Hibbing
Kyle
Speedway fans.
Kyle might just pass that this year, possibly. He's got a bunch of them now.
That would not hurt my feelings.
Right.
I mean, I like Pat Dorr. Pat Dorr is an all-time great, but Kyle's one of our guys, right? So I mean,
Mhm.
if there's going to be a guy on top of that list, I'd rather it be a Hibbing guy, I guess, than
Right.
an out of towner for sure. So we'll get to that in a little bit. All right, how about Dud?
Okay, my local dud. I'm just gonna go with Don Shaw. Um, for reasons we've
Pick a guy
already.
while he's down.
Yeah,
All
no,
right.
no, 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 no.
Why you
He's
gotta
up.
fuck with that guy so
Well,
much?
he's not down. The guy he rolled over is down. I mean,
Fair enough. Fair enough.
he's up because he gets to still race when he should be sitting on the sidelines thinking about what he did. So Don Shaw's my local dud of the week.
All right. So I got well, I mean, got a few here. I could go Ricky Weiss, 6 straight wins at the Dead Horse Creek Speedway, including against the NLRA guys, right? So
Yep.
he had a pretty stacked field there. So um that's his new home track for the time being. Um I could go Kevin Burdick. I mean, even though he's not been really hot, got a new car out. He did win the KME points up in Rapids. Nice $6,000 payday there. I could go Tyler Peterson. He's been really, really good as late. He's won 3 of his last 4. Kind of a pretty comfortable lead too right now, looking for his 3rd straight late model natty. And wouldn't that be his 5th straight year with a national championship? Because didn't he win back to back in mod?
Well, yeah, but I think he
He
won
won 2
mod and late model
in
the
the
one
same year.
thing.
Yeah. So that would be a potential 5 natties there. But I think I'm gonna go with Cole Searing. Horns up. Horns Bert. Cole Searing making the jump from MB Customs to Team Longhorn. Made it official this past week. He went to Fairmont and Worthington for a pair of tri-state races. He got 2nd at Fairmont. He got 1st at Worthington. First 2 nights in the 10 car. Chad Becker effect, maybe, right? Because Chad Becker jumped from an MB to a Longhorn, and allegedly, I kind of heard this from some sources, so I didn't corroborate it, but I heard that there was a little bit of a, well, Cole's getting all the help from MB, so I'm going a different direction. He goes to Longhorn, and we've been talking about it. He's been the best guy in South Dakota the better part of the year. Cole Searing's like, nah, I better get me one of them, and he gets in one. He got a 2nd and a 1st right out of the gate, and Becker might have company here. So that's going to be fun. I think I would expect to see both at Brown County for the Big Buck Nationals this week, and a lot of big money shows on the line. So if Searing can get comfortable, looks like he already is in that Longhorn. That's going to be fun to see, and kind of a downhill turn, right, for MB. You know, they built a really good business over a number of years, but kind of losing
The
their
premier guys.
stronghold. Yeah, their top guys are kind of leaving, especially in South Dakota, North Dakota. Tough deal over there. So Kendall, Peterlin, Nelson, your top 3. Not sure how many get locked in. I don't have the volume on here, so it'll be interesting to see if Daryl Nelson makes a show or not. Hopefully, I would think there must be 2B mains, so I would think maybe the top 3 or 4 get in. My dud of the week though, I pick on you there for kicking a guy while he's down.
Hmm.
Got to give mine to Trevor Walsh. Trevor Walsh out in Casino Speedway. So Gen X late model point leader. That's the crate late models out at Monty, right? Madison runs them. Casino has them. I-94. They got a series out there, the Gen X late models. He's the point leader. He's got 8 wins on the year. Should be 9. Guys, he won at the Casino Speedway. And what is the,
No,
yeah,
he
yeah,
forgot the scale.
he forgot the scale.
Unfucking real.
He'd been around racing his whole fucking life. His dad's raced forever. It's not like it's his first win. He's got 8, and he's like, all I was thinking about, I had to get out of that car, jump in the Wasota late model, get out there because he had both there, and I completely forgot the scale. Went back to the trailer. Trevor, what are we doing? What are we doing? Right? I don't get it. I think it was $1,000 payday, and he made light of it. He's like, he picked on himself. You know, I got to give him credit for kind of, he made some light of it on social media, but yeah, kind of a, yeah, that's a donkey award for sure. But Trevor Walsh, come on, guy. He's not a huge lead. I don't know how many races are left in that Gen X point deal, but he's leading the way, and that maybe could have extended the gap. But Bert, Tires falling off and forgetting to scale is like the two dumbest things I've ever seen. I don't understand it. I'll never get it.
Hold on a second here.
What do you got?
You and I were watching these late model heats earlier. Didn't Jake Radetzky win his heat? He's starting dead last in the B. Did he like scale light or forget to
Are they
scale
doing?
too?
Are they doing double heats? I don't think they're doing double
This is
heats, are
B
they?
feature number 2.
Well, somebody had from our group had sent a text about deck height coming into play.
Okay, because then I think Dorr finished second to Radetzky in the heat race, so maybe Radetzky.
So
Bert,
I don't know if that's what it was.
Bert, as soon as we're done, right? I'm gonna let you
Shane
jump in.
Sabrowski too. Shane Sabrowski starts dead last in this B. Then and he won his heat.
Oh my God! All right, Bert. Here's what we're gonna do. As soon as you get done doing your mods, right? Give us your stud. Give us your done mods if you have some. And then I want you to jump off quick and take a look at the results from the heat races from the Gondakla Speedway, if you could.
Okay.
All right, so let's jump over to mods. What do you got?
I just have a stud, and the reason I chose Jordan Bartz is because she was on the dud list in the past. She won her first feature of the year at Toronto Speedway this past week. So I put her on the duds. So if you win if you win a feature, your first feature of the year, you get to go on the stud list.
Absolutely, you do. Congratulations. All right, Bert, you got a project here, buddy.
All right.
Results and tell us on the DQs here. Who's getting Dairy Queen gift cards here? All right. All right. Fucking Pogo.
Wow.
I talked to Pogo today. Talked to Pogo.
Did you buy him a Blizzard?
I should. He's on. He's up at Gonda.
He's like, that fucking Chonga picked that guy. DQ him.
Unbelievable. Oh, Massengill with a DNF. He broke something.
Delphi leading.
He is. Jeff Massengill has been one of the perennial, like, really good runners at the Twin 25s, like a top 5 guy. He ain't gonna make the show. I don't know what happened. I'll have to talk to Brett and see what happened. All right, who do you got for mods?
Local mods, I'm gonna go Shane Sabrowski. He won at Grand Rapids, he won at Granite, got third at Ogilvy. He's won 3 of 4, and he's hot at the right time when it's time to press to win a natty. So Shane Sabrowski, oh ho hum, right? My stud is Daryl Nelson, and I'm trying mightily to spark this guy because it's just been tough year in that mod. I mean, he won early at Cedar, and it was really good, and it's just been broken, and it hasn't been on the racetrack. But he had the mod out 3 times in August. Right, he got 4th at Proctor on August 10th. Then he rained out after the heat race on August 22nd last week, right? And then he got last in his heat and did not start the feature at Cedar Lake the next night. So, I mean, that mod's on the struggle bus, and I'm hoping like hell I can spark him to go to Rice Lake and do something pretty good this weekend. So, and at the Silver and tonight
on his home turf. He looked good in the heat.
Yeah, he had the best car. He got third. Got third, but there was just no way to get through that side-by-side battle. He had a good car, though.
He was, yeah. Sabrowski's up to battling for third now in the B. It looks like he's going to get into this. He's got a provisional anyway. Bert, what do we got?
All right. They're in Heat 1. Sabrowski and Bennett got DQ'd.
Bennett got third, I think, in that deal, too.
And Heat 2, Radetzky and Burdick got DQ'd.
Burdick, too? Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. All right. That's a good way to kind of take the fun out of a really
I didn't
good
even
show.
see Burdick in a B. I wonder if he just did load it up.
Is there 2 Bs or 3? There must be.
Well, maybe there's 3 Bs.
There's 42 cars. There's 10 in this B, 10, 20.
Yeah, there could be another B.
There could be another B. All right, we'll take a look here. All right, so you talked about Sabrowski. 3 of the last 4 that he won. Blake Adams, objects in mirror are closer than they appear. Okay, keep that in mind. The championship battle right now, Blake Adams, 1638. Shane Sabrowski, 1621. But here's the difference. Blake has 753s and 954s that he's chucking. Sabrowski's got 2 50s, 3 51s, and a 52. It is danger zone for the 40D. Bert, is there 3 Bs?
I don't know. I
Oh.
can't tell.
Okay. Okay. All right. We'll know in just a second here. So Sabraski, you're right. That's definitely hot. Caden Blazer, holy shit! Welcome back, kid. Welcome back. He's kind of a part-time racer now in the MB house car. Good to see him back in action. Third at the Red Cedar Speedway. Parked it in Victory Lane down at Cedar Lake this past weekend. 3 wins on the year. Not bad for a guy that races once or twice a month. Kind of good to see him back out there. All right. So good. He's I know he's up in Superior tonight. Did not see how the heat race went. Mervyn Castle. Mervyn Castle took over his dad's ride in the modified guys halfway through this season. He's got 10 shows in the A-Mod. His worst finish, 10 shows, rookie A-Mod driver. Bert, what's his worst finish?
Who's this?
Mervyn Castle. Grand Rapids guy, races up in Hibbing and Grand Rapids. 10 shows.
And what's the question?
10 shows. Yeah, rookie driver, A-Mod. What's his worst finish?
4th.
That's correct. 4th. That's his worst finish. He's been freaking good. And he got his first win in the A-Mod this past Saturday night up in Hibbing. I'm telling you what, there's a sleeper, right, for the Wissota Classic and Labor Day Shootout. He's been really, really good in that thing. So congratulations. Good luck to Mervyn Castle. I also got to give a shout out to Jody B. Alphabet. Jody Belfi, first time winning the trifecta. Superior, Ogilvy, Proctor, 3-track championships. He's got a lot of championships in his career, won a lot of big races, but this is the first time Jody Belfi has won 3-track championships in the same season. Heck of a year to the 11. And my dud, I got to go Bob Broking. I think he DNF'd the heat, or I don't know what happened. He was facing the wrong way. Did he DNF?
I don't know, but he was facing the wrong way.
He was facing the wrong way. I don't know if it was his fault. But he's just been bad. He earlier this year, guys, he won 3 straight, and he had a couple okay finishes, but he's just not been very good over the last month. And you want to be trending up going into invitational season. He's doing exactly the opposite and trending down. So Bob Broking would be my dud in the modifieds. All right, let's jump into I know Bert's gonna take this one off here. Bert, take a break. Enjoy the show. What do you got?
I have a question though. We talked about this last week, and you mentioned it in talking about the late models. Whatever happened with that, with the KME thing at was it Grand Rapids?
Yes.
Verdict won.
Thank you for bringing it. No, his question. I get your question. So before we did the show last week, they kind of had a little bit of drama going on. They maybe were adding a show, and the Grand Rapids Speedway as a group that's a board run. Bob runs the show up there. They looked at it and they're like, no, we absolutely cannot add a show after the fact. They 1000% did the right thing there. I figured they probably would. And so they did the right thing. They did not count that extra show. So Burdick had a 4-point lead going in. Plus he beat Billy Kendall, and Billy Kendall won the track championship up there at Grand Rapids, but Kevin Burdick ended up winning the KME deal. So tip of the cap to the Grand Rapids Speedway for recognizing that and doing the right thing in the end. So thanks for asking that. That's good that we pointed that out. All right, super stocks there, Changa.
All right. My stud of the week, I'm going to go Dexton Cook, right? It's just been too many times the poor guy's been on the dud list. So we want to, pump him up when he's doing good. He's got 10 races he's run in August, 6 wins, 2 seconds, a third and a fifth. 3 wins this past weekend at KRA, Princeton, and Granite, and then he got a 5th at Ogilvy. So Dexton Cook.
Bert, did Changa pause? Changa
pause. The national.
He's back now.
He's back. Yeah, he froze up.
I was able to hear you when you couldn't hear me. So.
Oh, so go ahead and repeat that if you could.
You want me to know? It was Dexton Cook. Did you get any of it or?
Yeah, we got about 99% of it until the end. And
Yeah, no, I mean, he just heated
he's
up. He's red hot at the right time, snuck into the top three, and solidly probably in the top three in national points now.
I think he's third. Doesn't really have a shot at the top
Oh,
two. But did you see what he raced this past weekend? I mean,
I
we
did.
should probably mention that. In a
I
fat
did.
tire
Yeah.
car.
So he did make his Wasota late model debut at Ogilvy this weekend. Started 10th, finished 10th. So kept it clean, didn't tear nothing up, did a pretty nice job. So congratulations to him. Look forward to watching you in the fat tire car going forward.
Absolutely. And I had a few people reach out. They're going, "Oh, Dexton get favoritism at Ogilvy. Oh my God, Dexton Cook Speedway over there." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" Right? Evidently, in a heat race, guys, they water the track too much. It happens. And drivers were all giving thumbs down, like, "No, this shithole ain't ready to go yet. They've got to be packed in. They ain't ready to go." Right? They go green. Everybody's slipping and sliding and all that going back. And he stops the car in the middle of the track. Stops, literally stops. Green flag. I think he was coming out of 4, I think, or going into 3. Stops the car, and next thing you know, yellow comes out, and I think a couple other drivers stop the car, and they're talking to the officials, and they're like, "This can't happen, right?" Like so they actually did go back out, pack the track, because all the drivers are like, "No, no, 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 we can't go green. The track's all slimy." So congratulations, Dexton, because that's what you need to do. Now, do it before the green flag flies, because you might not be so lucky next time. But the fact is, if the track's not ready to go, stop on the track, talk to the official, tell them it ain't ready to go, get that thing packed in. So, we're gonna wait. Chonga's coming back. He
Oh,
stepped
I'm
out.
right here.
All right, who's your dud?
Okay, so I forgot it was still on me. Okay, so my dud of the week, I'm going to go Tristan LaBarge. 0 wins since June 7th. Now that's 20 straight without a win. He's got 12 podiums in them 20 races, and he's finishing, but just not, not what we've come to expect out of him. We expect him to win some races at home and probably do a little bit better than that. So I know he did get a new engine here recently. That old one, he had after he blew up out in Aberdeen, right?
Yep, yep.
And so he had an old junkyard dog in there. Now he's got a fresh one. So hopefully that'll get him going back in the right direction for invites.
Bert, while I'm talking about the supers, can you go ahead and look at Kevin Burdick, what B main he was supposed to be in? It looks like they're at intermission now, so he must have just decided to scratch and call it a night. All right, so I got a couple different drivers here that deserve shout outs, and then I'll give my stud. Okay, so the first shout out I'm going to give to is Dalton Carlson, another driver, first time getting the trifecta. So he has multiple track championships over at the Bemidji Speedway, but I believe this is his first track championship at his home track in Grand Rapids and his first track championship, I believe, at the Hibbing Speedway as well. So 3 track championships for Dalton Carlson, a guy we've talked about him the better part of the season. He has been he's been the top guy in Hibbing and Grand Rapids on a consistency basis. Maybe not the fastest every night, but always up in the top 3 every night. Hell of a year for the 57 up there. I want to give a shout out to our boy, former crew guy for the 71A.
Yes.
Giamala Andy Gramala, first ever track championship up at the Gonda Claw Speedway in Superior, Wisconsin. Super, super proud of the kid. Very happy to see him get his first ever track championship. That means a lot to him and to his dad, who's been around racing for a long time. All year long, he's only got 2 races all year, worse than 6. He's had a very solid year. No wins. I told Philto, I said, they're gonna new rule in Wasota. They don't give you championships unless you have at least 1 feature win. I have a couple. We won Hibbing in the mod 1 year, no feature wins, got a whole bunch of seconds, won the championship. So bittersweet. You want to get that win, but guess what? You got some invitationals coming up. No better time than invite time to cash in and get a couple victories here. But hell of a year for Gramala. The other one that I got is Kurt Myers. So with his win this past week at the Rice Lake Speedway, he became the winningest driver in Rice Lake Speedway history. Now, I don't know if that is just the supers or all classes. I think though it's all classes because he has a bunch in the street stocks, right, back in the day as well. But Kurt Myers making history at Rice Lake. Maybe our boy Ben Bros can kind of clarify that. I think it's
Right.
all classes though.
No, let me ask you this. Who did he pass to win it? Was it like he just passed Buzzy because Buzzy's on a hiatus, or?
Yeah, right. Yeah, Buzzy's a quitter. He's a quitter. Um, I don't know the answer to that. I know he had to pass Don Drew to become the all-time super stock winningest driver. I don't know who the all-time winningest driver was. Buzzy makes the most sense to me. I mean,
Right.
he's ran multiple classes. I I would think Buzzy'd be the all-time winningest driver, period there, but maybe not. Maybe not. So Kurt Myers, though, he's had a hell of a season. The point battle, guys, right now in national points, she's tight. She's tight. Kurt Myers, 1662, Shane Sabraski, 1651. 11-point difference, right? Myers has 253s, 654s. Sabraski has 252s, 653s. Again, objects in mirror. The Cameron, Wisconsin drivers are sitting there looking in the mirrors going, this fucking guy's
Oh,
behind us
fuck.
again, right? Again, this fucking guy, like Sabraski, I'm telling you what, he's putting together a hell of a season. Very limited schedule, but he's got a high win percentage. And I believe he's at 991 career feature wins. 9 away. I believe that's the number I saw on Facebook this past week. 9 away from that elusive 1,000 win mark. So we're officially under 10 on Shane Sabraski watch here. So my dud of the week, and the season is coming to an end. Double header this week at the Viking Speedway, the high flying half mile. Can Coach Kraus sniff a podium this week? I don't know if he can win. I think he forgot where Victory Lane. He fucking parks by it, right? He should know where Victory Lane is. I would have to think. He literally parks right by it, right? He runs the track, so he should know where it is. Can he at least get a podium this weekend, Coach? Can you get a podium? Just get one. One podium. You get one podium, we'll be super proud of you. Coach Kraus on the dud list going into Labor Day weekend at the
No,
Viking Speedway.
that is not nice.
But before we jump into the next class, I want to give a shout out here to our sponsor, Fastlane Motorsports and Powder Coating up in Ashland, Wisconsin, home of the Galloper chassis. They do custom powder coating, sandblasting, fabricating. They're the vendor at several different tracks: Superior, Proctor, Ashland. Right? They can get any part you need. They do a great job up there. They get anything you need: tires, safety equipment, whatever you need, racing related. They got it. They're the sponsor, the main sponsor of the #1 series in racing in Wissota Racing, the Northland Superstock Series. But big one coming up, guys. Red Clay Classic coming up here just about a month out. Changa is going to be there here with the 71A. We're going to see if maybe we can coerce Bert. It's not that far of a drive for Bert Lehman to come join us up there, but a lot of money on the line, guys. 50th annual Red Clay Classic. 15,000 to win for the late models, 10,000 for the mods, 7,000 for the supers, 3 or 4,000 I believe for the
Midwest
Midwest
mods.
mods. I was looking here, looking at the rows, but I can't tell what row's what because they got it, but they don't have what row it is. They just have car numbers there. So looking at the screen, I couldn't tell if Ashley Anderson's on the pole. I think he's on the pole. Is Ashley Anderson might be on the pole? I picked him, so that hopefully
What would
he
that be?
wins.
He was in a B main, wasn't he?
Ashley
Christ, he got
Anderson
like
was,
no, he got like fourth in his heat though.
yeah. So that don't make sense. I'm not really sure what's going on here. Twin feature
Of
number
course,
1.
who knows? Maybe he had 5 guys. You know, he got fifth. 4 guys got.
Maybe you know what? Maybe it's no, because Sabraski's that's no. I think Ashley Anderson's starting
It's
P1.
not even on. Okay, so on
You
the
got to remember there was a bunch of DQs in these heats, so he
no,
might have.
that's the back half of the field.
It is.
Yeah, because just
Who's
look
on?
at the names. All them guys did nothing in the heat.
Well, we'll find out here in just a second. All right, so that's the super stocks. Let's jump into the sport mods here, Bert, in the Midwest mods.
All right, first, Burdick. It shows that he was in the first B main and he finished 10th with a DNF.
Okay.
Radetzky did not start, and Bennett did not start. So they must have said screw it.
Bennett might get a provisional though, because
Oh,
he's in the challenge series.
okay.
Yeah, so he might get a provisional. I guess we'll know here in just a minute. So
Okay. And then also, were you guys talking about all-time feature win at Rice Lake?
yeah.
Yeah, I believe it's Buzzy.
Is it Buzzy?
I believe so. Based on
So
my
did Myers pass him then?
Well, I don't know.
Myers,
The post on Facebook says all-time feature win, the new all-time feature win leader. It did not specify if that was just super stocks. I
Oh,
believe.
okay.
I think it was just super stocks
I
because
mean,
I
I
knew
can't
he.
believe it would have taken him this long to pass Don Drew. I mean, Don Drew didn't have near as long a career as Kurt Myers has had in a super.
Well, Kurt Myers ran most of his career in a street stock. Then he had a
Yeah,
bunch of
but
years in a mod too.
I don't remember him in a mod. Okay.
Yeah, so yeah, he's kind of raced a little bit of everything. So I will have
Okay.
to check it. Either way, he's got some kind of record there. He's won a shit
Okay.
ton of races
All
at
right.
Rice Lake. We know that for sure.
All
All
right.
right.
Let's go.
First, I'm going to do a shout out because my dud of the week last week, Cole Magnan, apparently he was upset. I'm just saying that. But he won the feature at Toronto Speedway this past weekend. So
He's
That's
smart
how
though.
we work. That's how it works. Dud to stud. That's how it works. Good job, Bert. He should thank you for that.
You know what, Bert? So last week I put Dustin Nelson on the hot list, and he was ready to chase me down and fight me because he didn't want to be on the hot list because he thought I was going to jinx him.
So, but the stud of the week, I'm going with Coy Vlies. His last three races, he's got a second, a first, and a second. He's just one of the top sport mod drivers in Eastern Wisconsin, period. And he proves it every weekend. And with that, I will send it to Changa.
All right, my stud of the week, I'm going to go with Tony Liker. He got 3 firsts and a second this week. He got second to his brother Troy Thursday at Black Hills. He won at Black Hills on Friday, won at Gillette on Saturday, and won at Sheridan on Sunday. He's up to 14 wins on the season. He's cracked the top 3 in national points and kind of taken back his throne as the top guy out west. So Tony Liker, my stud this week.
How about your dud?
My dud, and this might not be very nice, but I'm going to go Tyler Vernon. He had a pair of fourths on the 16th and 17th of August. He hasn't raced since, right? And I understand why, but in that time, Joey Jensen has 4 wins and a second, most likely making what was a pretty much a dead heat in the national points battle. Pretty much almost an insurmountable uphill climb at this stage of the game. So I'm gonna go Tyler Vernon, my dud of the week.
I am gonna go. So I gotta go with Tony Liker with you. So the only thing that sucks is if those two, one of them just each of you guys just fucking race every other year. Okay, just do
Right.
something like that. Because Tony Liker's got 14 wins, Troy Liker's got 13 wins. Between them, that's 27 wins. Guess what? That'd be the national point lead. Like those two beat up each other all year long. And then you add Mario Berger to the mix. He's got 13 wins. But Liker, I mean, shit, he's third in national points right now, and he barely races, right? And I get it. He ain't gonna get them 58s out there. He gets some 57s and 56s, but God, I really hope, and I don't know if they are. I haven't not talked to them guys yet. But there's 3 drivers right there that I would love to see at the Wissota 100 in a couple weeks. I mean, they are elite level talent, all 3 of them. Tony Liker, Troy Liker, Mario Berger, all 3 of them
We
extremely
need to find
fast.
that out. We need to reach out to them here this week and find out if they're coming.
Yeah, I will do that.
That would be good.
I will do that. I got to give a shout out to Eric Anderson. Bert, I did the same thing. I put him on the dud list last week. this past week, he got a season best 3rd place finish up at the Hibbing Speedway. So good job, Eric, on that. That's trending up going into invitational season here. Changa, Ashley Anderson starts P1. Just going to go
I
ahead and
saw
point that
that.
out.
I don't. If you've noticed though, that whole list isn't even right compared to what's up here.
Yeah, I don't really know what's going
You
on
know,
there.
like because
But
Matt Doors in the second row, he wasn't even on that list.
he might have been in one of those heats with a couple DQs, and maybe
Yeah,
because of
yeah.
passing, the passing
Easy.
points deal, that's probably what happened.
Yeah.
Benefited. So that's good. I picked him. So that's good. My dud of the week though, I'm gonna go Ogilvy Raceway and the B-Mod drivers over there that keep trying to fucking kill the 30 car. Right? Joey Jensen racing for a national championship. He goes to the XR race in Ogilvy and absolutely destroys a race car, right? He goes to Ogilvy this past weekend and altercation happens and guy spun out and like everybody got a piece of the 30. It's like you're racing Joey. Stay the fuck away from that place. Don't go there anymore. Don't maybe the end of the year fall classic when everything's done. Other than that, don't go to Ogilvy because all it's doing is wrecking your shit. Go everywhere except for there because they're trying to kill his car over there, and that could cost him a shot at the national championship here. In the battle right now, the points, Joey Jensen 5 points ahead of Tyler Vernon. Joey Jensen at 1693. He's got 855-point shows that he's chucking. Bert, those are feature wins. Okay, he's got 8. He's chucking feature. He's chucking 55 is probably seconds. So he's got to win now to gain
It's either a
points.
win or a second. Yeah.
Yeah, Tyler Vernon has 454s and 655s. So literally by getting 55s, he can get himself right in the mix. It's tight. I mean, one or two races right there. That's a good battle in the Midwest mods. Let's go stock cars and street stocks here, Bert.
All right, stud for this week. He's been on this list, I think, at least a couple of times already this year. But Trey Van Straten, the son of Travis Van Straten, in a street stock in the month of August, he has a second, a first, a first, a first, and a second. And he did race a stock car one week also, and he finished 4th in the stock car. So all top 5 finishes. Well, all top 2 finishes in the street stock and then a top 5 in a stock car. On the season, he has 12 feature wins and 30 tries.
That's pretty impressive. He's been legit. You got any
So,
duds?
I do not.
Okay. Changa.
Okay, this week I'm going to go with Jim Gullickson as my stud of the week. He had 7 races in August. He got 6 wins and a third. Okay, Bert, do you know Jimmy Gullickson's run 19 features this year? Do you know how many he's won?
13.
Really close. He's won 12 of 19. So I mean, the guy's just been red hot all year. But 6 out of 7 in August is pretty special. And wow, just nobody else I could give the stud to right now. My dud is going to be Andrew Hansen. So this is the guy I kind of cheer for, right? He's the closest street stock guy to where I live, because there's just not street stocks in my area. So he's an Iron River, Wisconsin guy, which isn't too far down the road. He hasn't raced since ending the street stock tour out in Jamestown on the 9th of August. So I mean, it's just that's a guy I want to cheer for. They raced last week down in Rice Lake or Menominee or something, and he wasn't there. So Andrew Hansen's kind of my dud just because he ain't racing.
Yeah, I don't know what the deal is. I don't know if he's in a borrowed car or what he's got going on because I think he wrecked that one pretty good. Wasn't it at Ogilvy that he wrecked? I think it was.
Yeah, I don't remember where it was at, but yeah, maybe. Yeah, I think you're right.
I think it was. So I got a couple different drivers here. So there's a driver right now, guys, in Wissota Street Stocks that has 27 second place finishes.
Ray Hess.
Trey Hess. 15 wins. 27 second place finishes. And he's like a little bit you're a little bit bitter about that because you're trying to win an Addy and it's like second. There's about 99.9% of drivers would be like, if I get 27 second place finishes in a year,
And
that's
15
that
first.
and 15 first, and it's still not enough because Colton Brower is just dominating that race. But Trey Hess has had a hell of a season. But my stud of the week, we head out to Montana, Rob Petroff. So Rob Petroff has 29 shows. Bert, how many feature wins does he have in 29 tries?
13.
15. That's over 50% win percentage right there. 15 wins in 29 shows. He got an opening night, he got fourth place, okay? And he has one DNF. All other 27 shows are on the podium.
Jesus.
That is unbelievable. 5 straight wins, 8 of his last 10, and he just won on Saturday night out the Electric City Speedway in Great Falls, 2,500 to win show out there. So only thing that sucks for Petroff is lack of car count, location, and all that. He's a perennial contender. Tough to contend for the national championship just because of car count and where he lives, but he's in the mix every year. Hell of a race car driver. Hopefully we can get him to head over to the WISSOTA 100 too. Yes.
Well, I just had a couple of shout outs I wanted to give too.
Okay.
So last week at I-94 Speedway, you saw this. I know that Kyle Dykoff wins that race 25th to first. Justin Vogel 26th to third. Okay. And they didn't just go there and drive through some patsies, right? I'm going to give you just some of the names. So uh, they passed Hunter Carter, Levi Rant, Jeff Ekdahl, Cole Gresseth, Trey Hess, Greg Josie, Eric Riley. I mean, the best of the best in street stock racing, and them guys do a 25th to first and a 26th to third. That was absolutely incredible.
Street stock racing at the I-94 Speedway is awesome. It is awesome. I remember Justin Vogel a couple years back coming from dead last up to almost winning that deal, right? If there's a race that I'm looking forward to right now, it's a couple weeks out, it's the street stocks at the WISSOTA 100. That is going to be unbelievable because everybody's going to be there. Then you add in your Colton Brower and you add in some of these guys, Jimmy Gullickson, some of these guys, that is going to be really good, but hell of a job there. Dykoff doubled up that night too because he also won the makeup feature for the King of Dirt. So he's been, I'm not sure where he's sitting in national points. He just doesn't have enough shows, but he might be able to make up some ground. The national championship battle right now, Colton Brower at 1686. He's got like a 28-point lead, 31 wins. The battle right now is for second. Trey Hess is 1 point ahead of Cole Gresseth. And Gresseth is throwing out 53s. Hess is throwing out 54s. So that's really tight. On the outside looking in, though, is the Canadian driver. AJ Keller has a shot to sneak up and have a good say at that second place finish. So it's been fun to watch. My dud of the week in the street stocks, the drivers that banded together to give the driver money to tear down Jimmy Gullickson. I get it. You're winning that much, you're going to get tore down, but Jimmy Gullickson got protested this past week. Guess what? Legal beagle. Good to go. That's a golf clap right there. Congratulations. Tip of the cap to Jimmy Gullickson because when you win that much, everybody's pointing at, he's fucking cheating. He's cheating. Got to be cheating. He's winning races. Got to be cheating. Guess what? They tore him down. He's legal. Congratulations. Good luck at invitational time. All right. Grassroots, and we know Bert don't even like grassroots stuff.
I got some.
Oh, you shamed them. I love it. All right.
I got some. I'm going
That's a ding to me. I'll take a ding. That's a fine from this guy right here. All
I'm
right. Grassroots.
going to true grassroots racing. Studs of the week, I got to go with my grandson and my granddaughter because they participated in the Hot Wheels races at the Tigerton Lumberjack Days. And my granddaughter got second place in her age group, and my grandson got fourth in his age group. But he won his first heat race, and he was so excited when he won his first heat race. So it was a good showing by them. And then the dud of the week goes to myself, because I got fourth out of fourth in the adult division, and we were using, you can bring your own Hot Wheels cars, and so we were using cars that I had as a kid, and they're heavier, but I think today's technology might be a little bit better. So I may have to go to the speed shop over the winter and buy some modern Hot Wheels cars and see how they compare. Because we took the fastest ones that I had, because we tested on my track here, and we took the fastest ones. But I used the same car that they used in the finals, and I came in last out of fourth out of four adult racers. So,
All
but
right, all
but
right.
in the adult, I'm not sure if all those Hot Wheels cars were stock. Mine was stock. I'm not sure if the others were.
Well, we're gonna have to work on that. We're gonna get it on the Smasher. We'll maybe work on the tires a little bit, get some Daytona 1 on there. So get the rules for that. I know what the rules are. Can you weight them down? We're gonna see if we can make a slick machine here. We're gonna get you to win that deal next year. All right, that's pretty cool. That's cool stuff there. All right, Changa.
Grassroots stud of the week, Anthony Jensen. 6 straight feature wins. Princeton, Ogilvy, and Granite he won at this past week. Um, Jeff Roner also with a pair of wins last week, but Anthony Jensen just winning more. I mean, Brady Faso, a first and 3 seconds keeping the points race, a race. But yeah, I mean, 6 in a row at this time of the year when it matters is very impressive. So he's my stud of the week. Um, Dean Larson is my dud of the week. Um, he got fifth, third, first, and fourth last week, right? The win was a 4-car feature. There was 5 cars there. One of them didn't start, and that was at Bandit Speedway. He's going to need more keepers to seal this deal, because with them low car counts, he's gonna need a few more to decent wins to seal this deal up. So Dean Larson, my dud of the week.
All right. So I'm gonna go. I got some shout outs here. So I have a clear dud of the week. So I'm gonna give a shout out here to Uper's brother, Keith Erickson. Okay, so he actually had his best run of the season. He's in those Northern Renegade non-wing sprint cars, 11th to 5th up in Hibbing this past week. Good run, smooth
Uper
smooth and
told me he
steady.
was done for the year because he wrecked a motor.
He shelled a motor, got a different motor, put it in, went out there, rebuilt. He's going to Devil's Lake this weekend for a double header out there.
Oh God, I
They
didn't
got
even know.
yeah, they got like a 30 some cars registered for that deal. So good luck to Keith out there. I'm just gonna kind of give a little rundown of the point standings here in the 3 grassroots classes. The battle for the natty, right? In the we'll go with the Hornets first. So Tony Jensen, big week. Like you said, 3 wins this past week. Hell of a week. He's at 19 wins right now. The next closest is at 14, but the points is a little bit different because Jensen's car counts are kind of killing him a little bit. He's at 1102, 153, 454s. Okay. Jeff Roner's at 1099, only 3 points back. 152, 253s, 454s. That is very tight. Right behind them, the kid from Hibbing, Brady Faso, 1093. He's only 9 points back, 553s, 454s. So he's probably overall had a better kind of averages, but not quite as many wins. He's got 10 wins. So get that. I mean, he's only 9 points out of first, but he's got 9 less wins. So he's got a Hibbing, Rapids, big car counts up there. And Russell Kiker Jr., 1085, 953s. So really tight battle in the Hornets. Shout out McKenna Folstead. 5 wins on the season, 4 in Hibbing, 1 in Grand Rapids. I think I'll just jump into my dud of the week. My dud of the week is the flag man and the score counter, the situation that happened up in Hibbing. So Jada Lohr is winning the Hornet feature. Lap 14 comes around, white flag. They throw the checkered on lap 15, yellow checkered. An altercation happened on the track, and the checkered essentially comes out. Jada Lore, first ever feature win, right? Next thing you know, they're like, oh no, we're gonna go back to green, and we're doing 18 laps this week, which I like. They added more laps, but and they probably knew that beforehand, and there was just a miscommunication and mistakes happen. But God, is that painful, right? You see the checkers, her fans, everybody thinks she won, and then they go back to green and 4 more laps because they go back, and she ended up, I believe, getting second in that deal or third in that deal. Actually, Faso got by her, but and McKenna Folstead got by for the win. So that's just painful when it's your first win and that something like that happens. That kind of stings. In the Mod 4s, Dean Larson's at 1099, Dustin Holquist at 1090, Ashton Schwinn at 1087. But a guy to keep an eye on here, I don't know if he has enough shows to get there. Clint Jensen, number 41 from out west, a Wyoming car. He's got 13 wins, the second most win in Mod 4 action. He's got several low shows to kick out. They still have a half dozen, 8 shows left. Maybe could make a bid at this deal. Dustin Holquist right now, 753s, 9 points back. So it's going to be a battle. We're used to Dean Larson having 35 wins. You don't have that this year. All those wins that Dean Larson used to get going west, Clint Jensen's taking those wins from him and really keeping Dustin Holquist in this deal. The kid Ashton Schwinn up there that races up in Bemidji, he's got 12 wins on the year. That's a new name to the Hornet division or to the Mod 4 division as far as a national championship battle. It's been a fun little battle. It's going to be kind of interesting to watch. In the pure stocks, Dustin Puffy, I think he had a 50. Yeah, Puffy had a 57-point win this week. That's a big one in the pure stocks. 16 wins. The next closest is 10. Pretty solid lead right now. Puffy looking to kind of redemption tour. Remember, guys, last year, Dustin Puffy leading the national championship battle going into the last race of the year. Last race, not the last pure stock race, the last race of the year. They ran last. It was the last race of the year up at Ogilvie. Led that thing. Little bit of a altercation. I'm not sure. I didn't see it on the tape. Ends up slipping back. Mindock takes the win. Steals it right out from under him on the last race of the year. He's doing everything he can right now to make sure that don't happen. So Puffy, Crosby, Jake Smith, your top 3 right now. Good luck to all the drivers here in about a week at the MPH. It's going to be fun to see what they have. I do got to say this too. Rough night up in Superior last week for Eric Crosby. Did you see that crash up there, Changa?
I did. I was there and I witnessed it.
So it sounds like Crosby put a big post on social media apologizing. I mean, he felt bad. And that's what you do when you cause a deal. Apologize, move on. It is what it is. And I don't. You saw what happened. Tell us what happened.
Well, and I didn't see it real good, but the way I understand it is they they just went into the corner. Crosby was next to someone, maybe got into the left front of them and sent them kind of straight towards the wall. Well, when they did that, the person that was on the outside of that car, them two got together and they just went both head first into the wall. They both jumped over the wall into the catch fence. One was upside down on fire. The other one was on its wheels. Thankfully, God, I didn't. God, I can't remember who was. Is it Terrence Mason?
Jesse Trevoranis.
Yep. No.
She was the one that ended upside down.
Okay.
We raced against Tom in
Well,
the
of course.
super, and then
Tom's out there tonight.
Shane Bassina,
Yep.
69er was the other one.
Yeah. So, and I just heard this today, but I think it was Terrence Spacek's company that he works for was there actually fixing the fence today so that they could have it right for tonight. So I thought that was kind of cool. Incidentally, is it the first late model feature that counts for Challenge Series points?
Yes.
Okay, so Dave Moss won.
I saw that.
Shane Sabraski 16th.
Oh boy, where did Provenzino finish?
I didn't see where Provenzino finished.
Because I think him and Moss were either tied or a couple points apart.
Right, yeah. I just know Moss won and Sabraski got 16th, so that's gonna maybe shake things up a bit.
Yeah, I would say Moss got to be the point leader going into the Silver 1000 tomorrow night. So that's I tell you what, Dave Moss typically don't run well in Superior. That's not his best
But
track. So for
Dave Moss beat me several times back in my street stock days in Proctor, though.
yeah, that was not his best place to go in the Super. He was not good there earlier this year in the late model. He struggled. So congratulations, Dave Moss, on winning the Challenge Series portion tonight at the Twin 25s. So and the last thing on the grassroots, Pogo. Please don't fuck with these guys, right?
No,
The
let this foot
MPH
race
coming
happen.
just if it's something like ported heads or illegal carburetor, fine. Just stupid shit like you got a good national championship. Don't wreck it by nitpicking stupid shit, please. All right. Let's jump into the national championship trivia here next, boys. But before we do, let's have a shout out to one of the biggest studs in dirt racing right now, East Central Sports.
Me?
Matt, yeah, Matt, yeah, it could be you if you were driving that badass golf cart that he brought. But yeah, Matt Johnston and his crew over in Rush City, Minnesota. So they are your number one source for pit bikes, kids ATVs, golf carts, Toro lawnmowers, and a whole lot more. They had some really cool stuff. I mean, it's Rush City, Bert, is just north of the Twin Cities, right off of I-35, literally a mile or two off the highway, maybe easy to get to, easy to get in and out of. Check that place out. I mean, if you're looking for a better way to get around when you go to the racetrack and, hey, some of you folks are going down to Arizona, wintering down there. You got communities you can run golf carts in. Why not buy a pimpin' one from East Central Sports? Have the coolest golf cart when you go down to Arizona. You snowbirds. Let them know you heard about them on the One to Go show for $100 discount. You can check them out 320-358-1994, or you can check them out online at www.eastcentralsports.com. All right. So WISSOTA National Championship trivia. Last week, Tonga gave the clues. It was Dandy Don Ishins. I am kind of running away with this deal, guys. I'm at 7. Tonga's at 3. Bert's at 1. Okay, we've done 11 different episodes of this. Bert's turn to give clues because the person that lost last week gives the clues this week, and 3 wrong guesses equals a win for the person that did not have 3 wrong guesses. So, Bert, what do you got?
This driver began his racing career at the age of 8 in 1973 when he began racing mini bikes.
Okay.
He continued racing mini bikes and motocross for 18 years, and in 1988 he qualified to race at the Amateur Nationals held in Loretta Lynn's Ranch in Tennessee, where he finished 12th in the nation. This driver's first dirt track stock car race was in 1991, racing a mini stock at Rice Lake. In his first year in the class, he won 8 feature races, racing a 1989 Ford Mustang that he put together for $1,000. This driver moved up to the modified class, where he was named the Rookie of the Year in 1993 in Rice Lake. He won his first modified feature in 1994. And this driver is, as of 2017, this driver was second in all-time modified feature wins at Rice Lake. Yes.
He's that old? I didn't realize he was that old. Holy shit. So he was born in 65, so he's 9 years older than me. So that makes him 60, huh? Huh. That's what threw me off. Wow. Good job, Bert. Good job, Changa. Good clues.
Well,
So tell us a little bit more. What else you got? So
I should say thank you to the Rice Lake Speedway's website, because I got all of this information from his Hall of Fame induction information, because he was inducted into the Rice Lake Speedway in 2017. This driver had a driving style that could best be described as balls to the wall.
No question.
um,
Harley.
and I don't understand this. Maybe you guys can tell me. This is from the information. He won points championships in 1991, 2002, 2003, and 2004. Season championships in 1990. What's the difference between a points championship and a season championship?
I don't
Don't
know.
know.
And well, I think what maybe it is Rice Lake always had mid-season championship and
Yeah,
season championship night.
okay.
So essentially, what they line up 2 nights during the year
So that
by
would be the
track points.
second half.
Yeah, it wouldn't
Okay.
be the second half. It would be so like halfway through or the end of the year, the final regular night
Oh,
of the
okay.
year.
Okay.
They used to line
Okay.
them up by points, so that might be what that is.
Okay. And then during his national championship season, he won 31 features.
I remember that year because it was like what was it,
It was
2004, 5,
2003.
3?
2003.
Okay, yeah, yeah. He
And
was he was fun to watch.
in 2003 and 2004, he won the points championships at Rice Lake, Cedar Lake, and Eagle Valley. So 6 points
and
championship.
that was kind of when Thatch was good too.
Right. Yeah, Thatcher was really good then.
I mean,
So
I do remember watching Harrelstad racing in Wissota 100 when we used to go and always the blue number one.
yeah, really bright. Yeah,
Yep.
yellow and orange and blue or whatever. And
Yep.
yeah, flamboyant guy. I saw him down at the USA Nationals. Actually, he was wearing some Bobby Pierce garb down there. So Paul Harlstad, good clues, Bert, and congratulations, Changa, for knocking me off my high horse here. And I guess next week I'm giving the clues. All right, so let's jump into our pick'em segment, and I gotta give a shout out to our boy Dano. So he won the week, jumped back into the top 5. Big week for Dano last week. So in the standings right now, I'm leading the way, 13 ahead of Bert, 17 ahead of Changa in third, 25 ahead of Rainman, and 33 ahead of Dano. That rounds out your top 5. Governor Walls is 6th, Coach is 7th, Uper 8th, Tardy 99 is 9th, Worker Bee 10th. Then we got Man Bun Dan, Beefcake, and Bromance rounding it out. So a lot of races here. The next couple weeks got some big amount of races. And then things start kind of dialing down after that. So this week, guys, we got 4 high limit races that we picked. Monday they were at Roseburg, Oregon. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, the Skagit Nationals. XR Stock Car Rampage is going on as we speak at Fort Dodge, Iowa. World of Outlaw Sprint Cars Saturday and Sunday at Huset's. Lucas Oil Dirt Late Models Friday, Saturday at Lernerville for the 57th annual Hillbilly 100. Mars Late Models Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Farmer City, Fairbury, Spoon River. NLRA with Soda Late Models up at Greenbush Saturday and Sunday. Twin 25s going on right now. Silver 1000, of course, tomorrow night. If you're watching this, it's Thursday night. Silver 1000 up at the Proctor Speedway. Wissota Classic Friday night over at the Grand Rapids Speedway. Labor Day Shootout Saturday, Sunday at the Hibbing Speedway. Big Buck Nationals Saturday, Sunday. I believe it's Saturday. Is it Friday, Saturday? I think the Big Buck Nationals is at Brown County.
Yep, Friday, Saturday.
Friday, Saturday. Yep. Dairyland Dash Saturday, Sunday at Rice Lake. And we got the King of Dirt makeup feature for the Midwest Mods at I-94. But it's a big week of racing, guys. I mean, it's almost disappointing to me that there's so much because you got Princeton on Friday, Menominee Friday, Devil's Lake with a doubleheader, Viking
Grand
with a
Forks
doubleheader,
Friday.
Grand Forks Friday, Brainerd with a doubleheader. It's like I'm a traditionalist, right? And I get it. Everybody wants to have their special and so on and so forth. But I remember back when there was only a couple things going on. Labor Day, Silver 1000 started off invitational season, and there was very few postseason races, and everybody went to just a select few races, and it's just not the way it is anymore. It kind of is what it is. So let's jump into our bold predictions though. So we had a few come off the board this past week. So we make 3 bold predictions. Sometimes Changa makes them and they're not real bold. And
Come on.
yeah, it's kind of ridiculous. We probably shouldn't even give you credit. But we keep track of predictions we got correct and correct percentage. So Bert, you had a couple come off the board this last week. You said Dirt Kings. They were at Plymouth, they were at Shawano. There'd be 6 different podium drivers. Night number 1, Mullen, Anvilink, Swedberg. Night number 2, Anvilink. 74 is McGrath, right? And Todd Frank.
Yep.
So Nick Anvilink kind of thinking back to them days you giving them C grades and kind of pimp you out of that deal. Dead Horse Creek Speedway, you said Team USA would win the late models on the NLRA night. Well, Ricky Weiss won both, so that was incorrect. All right, Uper had 3 come off the board. He said Kennedy Swan would have a podium finish. All right, I got my Kennedy Swan garb with me now. I found it here. Thanks, Jason, for the can koozie here. So we got her here for invite time. All right, so he said Kennedy Swan would get a podium. I don't know what happened to Menominee, didn't start. She got 6th Saturday night, so that was a no. And then he said either Rodney Sanders and or Jim Chisholm would be on the podium all 3 USMTS races. Well, night number 1, Sanders got 2nd. Night number 2, Jim Chisholm got 2nd. Night number 3, Sanders got 3rd, Jim Chisholm got 2nd. So he got that one correct. And then he said a combination of these 4 drivers. Okay, you tell me if you got this or not. He said Bobby Pierce, David Gravel, Rico Abreu, and Jonathan Davenport would combine for at least 6 podiums and at least 3 feature wins this past week.
Rico Gravel. Oh, Pierce got 2 wins. Are we counting all 3 races Pierce ran?
Yep.
So Pierce got 3 podiums, 2 wins. I don't know.
Rico got a 15th,
Rico got
19th, and 7th.
Rico got nothing. Who were the other guys?
Davenport got a 2nd and a 5th.
Yeah, yep. And then I don't know if Gravel won one, did he?
He won that first night. He got a 1st, 2nd, and a
so
3rd.
He got it right.
Yeah, so he did. He got 7 podiums and 3 wins. So congrats to Uper on that. Tonga, you had 3 come off the board. 2.5. Well, 1. I don't know. Probably shouldn't give you fucking any here. You said that a Canadian driver would win the NLRA night at Dead Horse Creek Speedway.
Yeah. Ding, ding, ding. 1 point, Jim. Next.
Weird. You said in the Mars late models. You said though in the Mars late models that Jason Fager would he'd get podiums both nights with at least 1 win. He got 1 win. How did he do the other night? Second. Yep, you got that correct. Then you said that the combination of Jim and Joe Chisholm would account for 40% of the podiums.
That didn't happen.
2 of 9. 2 of 9. I had 2 come off the board. Dead Horse Creek Speedway. I said Ricky Weiss and Dustin Strand would both be on the podium. And what the fuck, Strand? 4th? How the one time he doesn't run good in an NLRA race? Grand Rapids Speedway. I said Billy Kendall would win the KME late model points. He won the track points. Burdick won the KME points. So, as it sits right now, Changa giving us an ass beating right now. 22 correct. Myself and Uper at 16. Bert at 11. And correct percentage leading the way there too, Changa. 44%. I have 37.2. Uper has 32. And Bert rounding out the field at 26.8. 4th of 4, just like his racing escapades this past weekend. So you're consistent, Bert. You're consistent.
Hey, yeah, and hey, I still got a participation medal though.
You did. That a boy. One for you. One for you. All right, Oprah. Oprah. All right. All right. So 3 predictions to round this baby out. So Bert will go to you, Changa. I got Youpers, and I got my own. All right, Bert.
I'm going to go World of Outlaw sprint cars and say no feature wins for David Gravel this week.
No feature wins for David Gravel this week. Where are they at again?
Huset's.
California.
Houston. Yeah, they're at Houston. You are correct. All right, Changa.
All right, I gotta get back to that. So what'd you tell me? Shane Sabraski's at 991.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna say Shane Sabraski. I mean, this might tell me if this is a bunt, because if it is, I'll change it. Shane Sabraski will get to 1,000 before the year's over.
Did he break?
Yeah,
That's
he
a
broke
bunt.
running third. He broke running third.
Okay.
So you think that's a bunt? Okay, so I'll change it up then.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Shane Sabraski gets to if he's truly at 991.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this week. So we got Silver 1000, Rapids, Hibbing, and then whatever he does next week. In them 2 weeks, he'll get to 1,000.
Okay. Okay. I would think that boy, I don't know if I think he'll go to Superior. Because they got 2 races for each of the 3 classes, because they don't have supers at the sites anymore. So that experiment just, there's no super stocks out there. So I would, okay. So he'll hit 1,000. Is it fair to say that he'll hit 1,000? He'll have 1,000 wins at least 1,000 wins
Going into the Wissota 100.
Going into the Wissota 100. All right.
If he's truly at 99, no, if it's 883, then that is, I mean, but
Yeah,
if it's
no, he's
truly
at,
not, I think he'll get 9. Well, I'll just change it. I think he'll get 9 wins between now and the Wissota 100.
he's at 991. His parents posted
Okay.
it online that
Okay.
991. We got a great
Fair
battle
enough.
up front here. Coming on 2 to go. Daryl Nelson
Nelson,
leading.
Durkee, Belfry.
Belfry looking to the inside, up the track, and
Yeah, don't tell me, because I'm on yellow right now. I'm way behind you.
All right. Youper. He said the Blevins family, which is Michael Blevins Sr., Mikey Blevins, Sam Blevins. Okay. The Blevins family is going to sweep the features at the Wissota Classic and the Labor Day Shootout this week. Those 3 nights, or however many they race, will be won by the Blevins family. Changa, I hate to break it to him, but Jake Smith, because BMod Bedlam canceled, is going to be in the house.
Yeah, that would have been nice to know ahead of time, right?
Right? Wow, was that a good finish? Oh, my.
Don't tell me, because I still got 5 to go.
So the names it was so close. I'm not going to tell you who won. It was so close that the names switched, and then it was good. All right. So Blevins family sweeps. Good luck with that. Good luck with that. Again, they're Hibbing guys, so I like to see the Hibbing guys win.
Right?
Yep. All right. So I'm gonna go. I'll pull out a negative one here. Okay. So remember back in the day, you go to the Labor Day Shootout, there'd be 2 B mains for the super stocks and 2 B mains for the mods, maybe 3. There might be 3 B mains sometimes for each of them classes. Between the Wissota Classic and both days of the Labor Day Shootout, at most 3 total B mains. At most. There will be 3 or less B mains total between the Wissota Classic and both days of the Labor Day Shootout. All right, Bert.
I'm gonna go high limit sprint cars and say Rico. This is at Skagit.
It.
Huh?
Skagit.
Hornells.
Oh, Skagit. Oh, sorry.
It worked, Ryan.
It did. See how fast we operate. Dudless for Daryl Nelson. Win at Gonda Class Speedway. That fast. That fast. So Rico Abreu, Skagit Nationals.
Well, Rico will have at least 2 podiums and at least 1 win.
Okay, at least 2 podiums, at least 1 win for Rico at Skagit. All right, that was an outstanding modified race.
Yeah, hell
at
yeah, it
Sagada
was.
Class Speedway.
Who
Them two
finished
do that
second?
once in a while.
Belfi got second.
I had
By
Belfi.
so did I, by about that far.
So did I.
Yeah, yeah. I had we jinxed them. We like to see the hammer
No,
win.
no, I was cheering for Daryl even though I picked Jody. So I mean,
Right.
it's nothing against Jody, but I mean Daryl's my boy.
Yep. All right. What do you got for your second one?
Oh, it's my turn, huh?
Yep.
Holy shit! I wasn't prepared for this. I'm gonna go to Husitz, and I'm gonna say Buddy Kofoid doubles up.
Okay. Buddy Kofoid doubles up at Husitz. Okay. All right.
And if they only race one night, it's a wash.
Okay. Sounds good. Buddy Kofoid doubled up. All right. Uper, the Iron Man, Shane Sabraski will win 33% or more
What a
of
fucker.
features this week. Well, he's 0 for 2. So far he's 0 for 2. He's gonna be 0 for 3 because
After the next late model feature,
well, maybe not. He might start in front
he's
of
gonna win.
McNeil.
He's not. He got 16th. That ain't in the invert.
Oh, okay, not in the
So,
invert.
but he'll win the supers.
Yeah. So Shane Sabraski will win 33% or more of the features he races this week and weekend. All right, my second one here. I'm gonna hedge one here. Uper, our statistician, ain't gonna like this, but I'm gonna hedge one. Victory Lane Speedway in Winnipeg will race at least 6 WISSOTA late. Now, keep in mind, they dropped late models this year. Okay, they don't have late models. Victory Lane Speedway up in Winnipeg will have at least 6 WISSOTA late model events in 2026.
Let me just ask you a question. How does that help you to win the contest this year?
It'll help me to win it next year.
Oh, okay. I see.
Yeah, it'll help me to, and maybe
So you've given up already.
pretty much, yeah, pretty much. Possibly their schedule might come out before the end of the year. So if their schedule gets posted before January 1st, then it would come off the board this year. So we'll see what happens. But I wanted to get that one out there just with the before I forget, because let's not forget Ricky Weiss ain't coming to the States anytime soon. Just ain't, right? Unless
he said he'll be here for Knoxville Nationals.
Okay. Well, I hope that's true, but I don't think it's gonna be. And as of right now, Bert, he's got one track he can race up in Canada, and I would have to think that with the sponsorships that he has and the backing and all that, that they'll coerce Victory Lane into at least 6 races. Off the record, I think they might run more than that, and they might try to figure out a way for him to get at least 30 shows in to have a shot at winning the Natty, but we'll see what happens. Remember, he's got 5 WISSOTA national titles. So he might go on in maybe 2026 and have 35 car feature wins. Who knows, right? We'll see what happens.
No
All
way.
right. Yep. Bert, your third and final one.
I am gonna go Shawano Speedway will not have weekly late model racing in 2026.
Yeah, he's got insider info.
No, I have no insider info.
Yeah, that's what you say.
Why do you got to be so negative, Bert? All right. No weekly late model racing at Shawano. All right. Changa.
I'm going to go with Joey Jensen. 3 feature wins or more this weekend.
In the B-Mod.
Total between the B-Mod and the Super.
Okay, so he's going to run Princeton,
In 2
Rice
days
Lake,
in
Rice Lake.
Yep.
Okay. So that'd be 50%. So 3 or more feature wins for show balls. Okay. All right. Uper's third and final prediction. Showtime, boys. Remember that handle on the 2020 page there, Changa? Showtime, boys. Mike Stearns, old Superman, is going to have at least 2 podiums and at least 1 win this week at the Big Buck Nationals. At least 2
Between both
podiums.
cars?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Well, yeah. He didn't specify, and I asked him, and he kind of giggled, and he's like, "Yeah, well, you caught that." So between mod and late. So we'll see what
How many
happens with
podiums?
at least 2 podiums, at least 1 win.
That's like the biggest. That's worse than fucking picking a Canadian.
One night's gonna rain out.
Yeah, right. What if it don't?
Then he might get one right for once. All right. So I'm gonna make my third prediction, and I'm gonna give
I'm
credit
changing mine. I'm changing my third prediction to Daryl Nelson will win the mod portion of the Twin 25s.
Yeah, I bet you are. My third one here, I'm gonna give credit to this one on a fan of our show, Youper Dan. So he had a couple questions there, and I'm gonna parlay that into a prediction. So he's like, "Do you think there'll be 5 or more Northeast Wisconsin late model drivers at the Red Clay?"
Northeast. Oh.
Yep.
I don't know who the Northeast guys are.
Well,
Even.
are you considering the Franks Northeast?
I would, right? Shawano's kind of northeast, right? I would say, kind of, yeah. Shawano area, all them Shawano, Seymour, that's all kind of northeast, right?
Well, right, but I mean, Todd Frank technically is from Iowa.
He ain't though.
Okay.
He's from Green Bay, right? So
Green Bay is not Northeast.
well, it's kind of east, but it's more north than south, ain't it?
So.
In our land, Green Bay is considered Northeast Wisconsin.
Okay. Yeah, God, I'd consider it Southeast.
Essentially, it's all those tracks. It's definitely not Southeast. For sure, it's not Southeast. And then he asked, "Do you think there'll be more late models at the Red Clay than the Wissota 100?"
Yes.
And do you think Bert will go?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to say this. Because there was like 50-ish at the 100. Remember, the 100's 10,000 to win also.
Right.
So that's a legit paying show too.
Against Cedar Lake.
Against Cedar Lake. Yep. But a lot of you got to remember Brown County races that weekend. They got the Winter Nationals also. So, all right. So I'm going to parlay that into a prediction here. There will be at least 2 of these 3 things will happen. At least 2 of these 3 things will happen.
Oh God.
Yeah. So
But
5 or more Northeast Wisconsin late model drivers at the Red Clay. Well, we'll consider Shawano, Seymour, Plymouth, all that group. So there will be 5 or more of those drivers. There will be more late models at the Red Clay than the 100. That might be close. That could be really close. And we're gonna fucking kidnap Bert, and he's gonna come there and do the show with us, even if it's just feature day or whatever. But we're gonna get Bert because it's Bert. How far is it from Ashland to? Oh, he left. See, he's fucking scared. He quit. Changa, he literally fucking left the show.
So you're saying 2 of these 3 things will happen?
I'm saying 2 of these things, 3 things will happen.
He
left the show. I don't know if he's gonna get back on or not. But he left the show. Unbelievable. Yeah, we're picking on old Bert. He left. So we're gonna get him there though.
That takes away a little of the fun when you can't pick on him.
It is. It does. Yeah. But looks like a pretty nasty one there in the Pier Stocks at Gonda Class Speedway.
Yeah,
so,
I see a car spun out. I don't see anything else.
They got a couple rollbacks on the track right now, so I'm not really sure what that's all about. Oh, you're not quite that far yet. So
I mean, it's under yellow with a couple cars spun out in the corner and a couple tow trucks, but nothing's upside down or anything.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, there we go. So that's our predictions for the week. So again, this week, I don't know what you're most excited about. I mean, it's been good racing tonight, actually.
Yeah.
It's been good over at the Gonda Class Speedway.
I
got to be honest. Moss has been, I mean, he's got to be leading the Challenge Series now. I would think. Well, he is, because he was less than 10 behind Sobraski, and he finished.
I don't know what Pravo did. He didn't beat Moss, but
yeah, he did beat Moss. So I think they were either tied or whatever. So that's a surprise to me. I'm not surprised Daryl Nelson won in the mods. Hell of a race in the modifieds. Unbelievable. That's one of the
Jody's
better races.
freaking bolted, man.
That
thing is
that
bolted.
right there, what a great way to start the invitational season. That
Yeah.
mod race right there was absolutely epic. And we've seen those two specifically
At
put on some
Superior too.
really good races there. So tip of the cap to Daryl Nelson and Jody Belfi for that awesome race. One more, we got the pure stock race to finish up here. And then there's one more race, the second part of the Twin 25s for the late models. Don't know what the lineup is, but I'm looking forward to the silver. One of my favorite shows. I am going tomorrow night. I'm going to be there tonight if you're watching the show. So hopefully I can coerce Changa into coming over there and joining me. I'm busy. I got too much stuff to do.
Yeah.
Got all weekend to work on shit. He can come to the races one night. It ain't gonna cost nothing. I already got his ticket, so you're
All right.
good to
If you
go.
got us tickets and a 6-pack of beer, I'm there.
All right. So we'll see you there. We'll see you there tomorrow night. Give me all right. We'll talk to you guys. As always, I'm Ryan. That is Changa. Bert left because he's getting picked on. But thanks for tuning in to the One to Go show.
Good night.